Hey, leaders, I hope that you all have been prospering in your purpose and dominating in your destiny. It's Coach Takumbo here with another installment in our public speaking series. I hope that you all have been enjoying this series. If you've been watching the videos on this playlist on public speaking for emerging leaders, I am elated that you are here. If you're new here, I am Coach Takumbo and I enjoy helping emerging leaders discover their voice, identity, and purpose so that they can dominate in their destiny. And we have been doing this series to boost people's confidence when it comes to public speaking. Because if you are growing, you're expanding, if you believe that you're being promoted in your area of influence, it's probably going to come with some public speaking. And so I don't want you to have any trepidation when it comes to public speaking. I want you to show up as a confident person. You may be coy when it comes to public speaking, but hopefully these videos have empowered you and encouraged you and given you some practical tools in order for you to be a powerful public speaker in your area of influence. In this particular video, I am going to talk about and walk you through how to leverage AI as a public speaker. But before we jump into this, I just want to make sure that before you start using AI to help you with your speech, I want you to make sure that you are an expert in your area, that this topic that you are asking AI to pull up, that you have some area of expertise. We really want to use ChatGPT to increase our productivity and really just to help us to have those creative juices flowing. Maybe there's something that you didn't think about that ChatGPT can help you to come up with, because it can almost be something like your thought partner and not really that they are driving the speech, or they're not the one, or ChatGPT is not the one that is creating the entire speech, but it is something like a co-partner or co-teacher, your assistant, if you will, right? That's why there's some apps that are called co-pilot, because it's something like you're an assistant, not telling you what to do, because at the end of the day, you are still the creative director of this presentation, and you really should have the area of expertise on this topic, because everything that ChatGPT says doesn't mean that it's always true. And so you as the expert knows how to fact check these things before you go off and you present this information. And so I want us to lay that groundwork here too. And I also want you to be mindful about having your own story, your own personal anecdote with this topic so that you can come off as authentic. Because in this day and age, people are going to know whether or not you just use ChatGPT just to present your information, especially if they're people that actually use ChatGPT or they're a high performer. You need to know how to leverage AI just to assist you, to give you some greater insight and to increase your productivity, and for you not to get stuck. Because sometimes it can be quite daunting just to look at a blank piece of paper or just to look at a blank document and not have anything written. Maybe because you are overwhelmed, maybe because you are bored and you have talked on this topic for many, many years. And so now use AI just to give you a boost of energy, but not to replace your creativity, but to help with the creativity and the innovation that's already inside of you, right? And so I'm going to share my screen as we're going through this, and it might be quite messy because I'm just going through this on the fly. And one of the things I'm going to do, I'm opening up ChatGPT, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dictate what I want ChatGPT to do for me. And this is something that you can do as you are leveraging AI to help you with your public speaking. And so I'm going to talk into the microphone so that it can write it out for me. I want you to help me to write out a speech, a 7-minute speech for Christian women to empower them on reviving the old dreams that they've had in times past. And I want them to be revived and to be motivated. The tone for this speech should be inspirational and motivational and empowering. And also, I want you to add about 5 to 10 scriptures that I could possibly use in my speech to uplift and encourage these women. And the age range is going to start at the age of about 26, 27, up until about 65. And I want you to make sure that this speech is around 7 minutes. Just give me a simple brainstorm done. And so that was me speaking into it so that I could write it out for me. And this is me just using the free chat GBT. And so it's already given me a title, Revive the Dream, God's Not Done With You Yet. I'm going to actually copy and paste this because I'm going to put like title ideas, but I'm going to want them to give me some different titles. This is a speech outline. And so the introduction is telling me to open with a story or image. There was a time you dreamed freely. I'm going to take this off because I'm not going to open with that. I'm actually going to open with my own story. So open with the story or image. So that's my hook. They're giving me an opening. And it also gave me a scripture, so you can read through the scriptures because that's what I want. So if you have facts and statistics that you want them to give, that you want ChatGPT to give you, do that. The death of a dream is telling me to talk about this for 1.5 minutes. Talk about the seasons when dreams seem buried. Reference biblical examples and encourage delay doesn't mean denial. Sometimes it's development. And so I'm going to do the death of a dream, and I'm going to talk about my own story about a death of a dream, and I'm going to open up with that. And I could even put in my notes that I could talk about my own story in entrepreneurship because I'm just doing a brainstorm dump, nothing perfect. I'm looking at the scriptures that they provided because I'm not going to take these encouraging words because I want to make sure that I'm coming up with my own, but I want ChatGPT to do the work for me as far as like getting some scriptures and some possible scriptures that I'm going to use. I may not use all of them, but at least I have some sort of outline because this is just my rough draft. God still remembers the dream, and then partnering with God for revival. And then I really don't want this all of this. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create a list of ideas on why some people quit on their dreams. Give me an exhaustive list on why some people quit on their dreams. Give me about 15 things in the list, and then give me 3 ways to help people to revive their dreams. So this is giving me reasons why people quit on their dreams. It's giving me 15, fear of failure, lack of confidence. And because I've already talked about using scriptures before, ChatGPT has remembered that. So they're pulling up some scriptures for me. Financial pressure, perfectionism, fear of rejection. For the sake of my speech, I'm only going to pick like 3 of these, and I'm going to talk about that in my speech because that's how I want to start it off. 3 reasons why people don't continue. And I'm probably going to insert my own personal story once again. And then I'm going to give 3 ways to revive the dream. Return to the source, seek God for a fresh vision, rebuild your faith, speak life over the dream, restart with obedience, take the next small step. All right. And then if I don't really like these, I can ask for more, or I can also, again, talk about how I was able to revive my dream. And so that's just me just doing a brainstorm dump. This is nothing perfect, but I've already had my outline and of what I wanted. And so I'm going to clean this up at the end. I'm going to have a title for my speech. And I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me to come up with better titles. I want you to help me to come up with a title for my presentation about helping young women, young Christian women, and older Christian women on helping them to revive their dreams that they've let go of. Give me about 10 different options. Dreams rekindle, God plans for your second wind, revive the vision. And you can also mix some of these together. And again, I'm just using this just for inspiration, right? I'm gonna put revive the dream. And then something that's coming up to me is just about the dry bones. Ezekiel, are these dry bones going to live? And so, and that's even up here, right? So Ezekiel 37, prophesy to the bones, I will cause breath to enter to you and you shall live. And so that's gonna be my anchor scripture. And then I'm going to hook them with my personal story, and then I'm going to give them 3 reasons why people quit. And then I'm going to share that list that was up here. I'm going to drop it to here. and it has scripture in it. I'm going to look through the scripture, and if there's other scriptures I want to add, I will add it. I'm going to hook them with my personal story about me quitting a dream and how God had to help me. And then I'm going to give them 3 practical ways to rekindle or revive the dream. And again, since this is my anchor scripture, Ezekiel 37 was my anchor scripture. So I'm going to go through this anchor scripture, and I'm going to just still use that. I'm going to say prophesy, um, believe God for the breath, believe God for the breakthrough. That's just based off of that scripture. And then I'm going to end with the story and declarations for them with scriptures. I'm going to end with about 3 declarations, and I'm going to just go through the scriptures that were given here. I'm going to read through them. I'm saying, oh, what are 3 powerful scriptures that I could possibly use within mine? I'm going to write them out as well. Some of these I recognize, so I'm going to use them in mine. And I'm going to end with my anchor scripture again, because that's my central theme. And that's pretty much my outline for that particular presentation. I hope this made sense. I know that was fast, and I know that was quick, that was fast, but that's just how you leverage AI. You're not going to have AI write everything for you, and you're going to script out exactly the personal story that you want to include. It's going to help you to do research quicker. Maybe you don't have time to go through all of the scriptures, or you can't find all of them. Have ChatGPT research the scriptures that you want to use, or research if you're doing something that's more facts, more analysis, more data, more statistics. You're going to ask them for specific articles in ChatGPT. You're going to speak into ChatGPT so it can write out for you and say, hey, give me some research on what happens to women that don't revive their dreams. And then you're going to get articles come up. Give me 5 different articles that are from 2000 to 2025, because you want something that's more recent. And so then you're going to prompt ChatGPT to give you those articles, and you're going to figure out, you're going to do a plug and play on whether or not you want to use those things. And so I hope that you're going to use AI to be more productive, to think quicker, to move quicker, and also to be more pensive about how you want to show up. And so when I say this, I mean, how do you want to show up as being authentic? So this gives you the breathing room to think about, okay, what are some things that God had to speak to me or show me while I was on my journey of trying to revive my dreams? That's for that particular speech. Maybe you are writing a speech on something else. Maybe you have to speak to teenagers. And so now ChatGPT can help you to figure out what is trending right now that's going to resonate and connect with those teenagers. And you're going to write that in the prompt, and they're going to give you several different ideas so that you can show up and the kids can think, wow, you really know what you're talking about. All right. I hope that this video helps, and I hope that you are continuously using the tools that are at your disposal in order for you to maximize yourself as a public speaker. I am elated to continue the journey with you as a emerging leader. So I want you to make sure that you are connected to our community by clicking the link in the description so that you can get our free guide. You'll be a part of our community, so you'll know when we have our leadership schools open. You'll know when we have our writing programs open, because you're already part of our community. So go ahead and click the link in the description box to be connected, to get that free guide. And also, do not forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and let me know what you're going to use in the chat box. I'm going to talk to you all later. I'm going to build iconic dreams with you all later. Love you like a leader. See you in the next video.